What was the new goal?
500 million. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to go and be the biggest company.
Which is why I left Sixpack Shortcuts.
We're shutting down Sixpack Shortcuts.
The fitness industry has been plagued by different scams and scam artists trying to sell everything from training gear to target belly fat to supplements claiming to have steroid-like effects without any of the negatives. And today we have a lot of fake natural lifters selling the idea that their pre-made training plans and advice can turn you into an absolute unit by just paying a small fee. Well, back when I first started lifting in 2013 and 2014, one man's name would be visible through an ad on every single YouTube video, a name which would become synonymous with scam artists in the fitness industry for years to come. Today I'm diving into a name that echoes through the halls of YouTube fitness history and what happened to him afterwards. The original fitness scam artist channel, Sixpack Shortcuts, led by Chang. Let's rewind to 2010 when Sixpack Shortcuts made their big break on YouTube, with this video going over the 3 biggest mistakes people make when trying to get a six-pack. Now, the information they actually discussed would be called superficial and beyond basic in today's fitness scene, but back then, knowledge on fat loss wasn't as readily available. But based on reading some of the comments, a lot of people actually found this information rather helpful, but many of them were obviously new lifters or just regular people looking to get into shape. And this exact group of people would become Sixpack Shortcuts' target audience moving forward. People who would like to become fitter and to look better, but have very minimal knowledge on how to do so. Arguably a very susceptible audience for wild claims like the channel would become known for in the future. Now, even though Chang himself was never the sole owner of Sixpack Shortcuts, he was a partial owner and he represented the brand more than any other person, being the face of all their videos, ads, the voice to all their commercials, DVDs, and so on. He became the very embodiment of Sixpack Shortcuts, and he put a lot of time and effort into filming and advertising. However, what would end up becoming controversial was not just Chang himself, but more so the false advertising of products through their YouTube channel and website. Videos like how to lose your belly fat and add 1 inch to your biceps in 10 minutes or less were made to skew expectations of those trying to get into shape, likely to just fall short of their goals before buying into the Sixpack Shortcuts DVDs and pre-made training plans. They would even partner up with other creators and celebrities like Terry Crews and even Connor Murphy to showcase their website and the products, which wouldn't be all that bad if the information they gave out was actually correct and the products were individualized. Now, it's not the Sixpack Shortcuts content itself that proved to be the biggest issue, but rather their extremely spammy use of ads. I know for a fact that back in 2013 to 2015, when I was watching guys like Physiques of Greatness, CT Fletcher, Nick Wright, all those guys, you would always have some sort of Sixpack Shortcut ad with Chang on the cover in your upper right corner of their screen. But this wouldn't just be a regular buy our product style ad, but rather a lie about modern day science. Something like Chinese scientists have discovered a revolutionary new strategy to get six-pack abs, which was just a bowl of piss considering this so-called research never existed and was never cited on their website. And the Sixpack Shortcut brand would eventually become banned by Google due to faulty advertisement practices.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Chang. We wanted to make this video to basically share with y'all the experience we had with Google and also the great support that we've gotten working with them with our advertising campaigns.
There were a few different occasions where this happened where, the guidelines would change or something would happen where we would receive a site violation or, the account would be suspended.
The ads in question were supposedly promoting fake results and research that didn't exist, and because of their high budget, these were spammed all across the internet for years. You literally couldn't go onto any website without seeing Chang's face, and something regarding how there's now a new and improved way to get six-pack abs easily. But some of you may be wondering, what was this so-called revolutionary technique and training method that he used to get six-pack abs? Well, it's a bit complex, or at least Chang tried to make it seem very complex, calling this method the afterburn effects and monster sets. Now, most of you know what a metabolism is, but if you don't, it's basically all the cell processes in your body that require energy. So really, it's just how many calories your body uses to stay alive. And the strategy Mr. Chang was advertising was strength training to improve your body's metabolism, aka to burn more calories on a daily basis by using supersets that target opposing muscle groups without any rest, or what Chang referred to as monster sets. So, for example, you could go from a set of incline bench press to failure, without rest move into a set of flat pull downs, and also to failure. And this would, according to Mr. Chang, increase muscle mass more than regular exercise, and also increase the rate of calories burned through a process called the afterburn effect, or what in science terms is called excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or EPOC, which is basically a fun way to say that your body does stuff even after training. Now, of course, this isn't factually correct at all, given that the strength training itself doesn't really burn that many calories to begin with, and the so-called afterburn effect was very over-exaggerated, although it is actually a real thing. Also, doing supersets will be way less beneficial for muscle growth compared to just regular sets followed by rest, as the central fatigue from the training will reduce the quality of each set. Now, of course, supersets can be great if you're short on time, but compared to getting enough rest, are much less effective and definitely not a good selling point. However, with the combination of short workout tutorials on YouTube designed to give you a great pump and up the heart rate, false ads, and a very buff spokesperson with tons of charisma, lots of people were tricked into the Sixpack Shortcuts scheme, making them a ton of money in the process, with Mike Chang himself having a goal of making over $500 million from the whole thing. However, things would not necessarily go their way. Slowly but surely, Sixpack Shortcuts would gain a negative reputation in the fitness industry for their shady business practices and being called out by other YouTubers. Not only were some of their workouts starting to become less and less science-based, but they also started selling supplements and brand items to supposedly help you get six-pack abs like the six-pack pill. And it didn't exactly help that the Sixpack Shortcuts program used referrals to get more people on board, which basically means that if somebody bought their program and they could get others to buy it, they would earn some money from that, which resulted in a lot of people spamming links to their website, not only on YouTube Fitness, but across YouTube as a whole, because they would get paid just over $1 per 100 link clicks. Mike Chang's charisma, good looks, and persona, combined with his bold claims, captivated millions of people. And with lots of supposed client results to back these claims, Sixpack Shortcuts made a lot of money. However, on several occasions, the channel would get taken down for misleading advertisements, scams, and spamming ads throughout YouTube. And Mike Chang himself was starting to become less stable, supposedly delving into psychedelics, at least according to some of his older coworkers.
I was at an event, and through a chain of reactions and all this stuff, I experienced a level of happiness that was so high. But all I know is it was so good that instantly I knew that nothing in my life was more important than what I was experiencing.
And he would eventually end up selling the channel back in 2016 after getting an enlightenment and, according to himself, finding out what was actually important in life. And now he basically has his own channel on YouTube where he posts lots of videos about how to enjoy life, loving yourself, and he's basically nowhere near the same person as he was while working at Sixpack Shortcuts. Although he does still have a ton of money and a pretty big house, he doesn't really do fitness anymore. Since then, Sixpack Shortcuts was taken over by these guys and rebranded into sixpackabs.com. Although the channel is no longer that active and it loses subscribers every month, they still have all the old training videos starring Mike Chang. But if you actually go onto their website, you will be met with this, and there's really nothing there anymore, suggesting they probably sold the brand name off to somewhere else. And probably they lost a lot of their engagement once Mike Chang was out of the picture. A lot of us grew up with Sixpack Shortcuts, and for a beginner lifter, their content wasn't honestly all that bad if the goal was just to establish a habit of training. However, it goes to show how easily these brands can manipulate people, especially new lifters and the general public who don't know better. And this is also why people like V-Shred has gotten a lot of heat over these last few years for selling poor training advice and pre-made programs, without taking into account that every person needs different follow-up. These people will tell you anything to get your money, and it's fine if their service honestly gives you a bang for your buck, but in most cases, it's not like that. So if somebody claims to have a new revolutionary way to get you shredded, strong, or whatnot, then it's probably a bunch of baloney unless the answer is actual individualized follow-up or literal steroids. Let me know if you guys have had your fair share of interactions with Sixpack Shortcuts, because I definitely did, and although I never bought anything, their practices definitely led me to believe a lot of stuff that simply wasn't right back then. And if you enjoy these videos and you want to see more like them, leaving a comment and a like is the best way to support the channel. I appreciate you all so much, and if you want to get some supplements and training clothes of your own, Head over to my sponsors at Gymshark and Rise. Both will be linked in the description alongside a solid discount code. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.